the stuff on your mind and you're feeling unclear, just hop on the mic and speak without fear. Let's air out.
Hello, ladies and folks, and welcome to another exciting episode of Aaron Air Out. This is a milestone episode, the second milestone of the series, episode 20, the Big 20. We can officially drink last episode, and 20 is not really a big birthday, I guess. It's just because it's a new decade of Aaron Air Out. We made it 20 episodes. This is most podcasts make it 5, I think is what I mentioned 15 weeks ago. I said that, and we have gone 15 weeks beyond that. So I think we can chalk this up 20 episodes as a success. This is like almost like a TV season. I guess 2 more episodes would be like a TV series, and that would be 22. That's incredible. We are a season of I don't know, but I want to check into this episode and kind of do a little a look back on Air and Air Out and see how far we've come, see what things have changed. I'm not going to be listening to the old podcast. This is not that episode. I think I'm going to save the review of Air and Air Out episode 1 for my 1-year anniversary. So you've still got like 8 months to wait for that on episode 52. But I just wanted to take some time. The last episode I listened back to it and I was feeling a little discouraged and kind of upset by it, even though I've kind of turned around on it again. It did well, like the most listens we got on one day ever, 12 plays on the Friday, which is great, not including YouTube. Including YouTube, it was at like 26 views between the 2 days, Friday, Saturday, which is what I expect for a normal podcast. So like that was stellar, and that was incredible. I think it might have had something to do with the fact that I've been sharing them onto Facebook and Instagram, getting a few more eyes on them, a couple more peepers. But, I was listening back to it and editing it, and I didn't like the content. I didn't like the approachability of this podcast to a broader audience. I introduced the podcast talking about my new job, which is fair, I think. It was exciting for me, starting a new job, and it was a big moment in my life. Well, in my week, not necessarily like in my life. I've had so many jobs, like can't even count them all. I can't, because I forget most of them. I'm just like really good at getting jobs. I'm a job machine, as I said. Flawless in interviews. I've never failed. What was I saying before? I was humble bragging. Yeah, and like I don't think that's that's not a good thing to talk about if I want to branch out and have other people like listen to it and like, oh yeah, this is exciting. I'm interested in this guy's opinion, because if they just tuned into that episode, they're like, oh, this guy got a new job. I don't even know who this guy is. I don't care. Like, what was his old job? I don't know anything about him. Why would I care about his entire work schedule? I guess if I wanted to go meet him, I now know where he's working and when he's working, so I could easily track him down. I should probably stop sharing so many personal information. I've like given out my address, my license plate, my job location, where I'm working, when I'm working. I might as well just like leak my social insurance number if you guys want it, and like my credit cards, my blood type. I did give out my blood type. I gave that out too. Just joking about that. Jeez, yeah, I gotta dial that back, because I can't be giving that out to a wider audience. Yeah, and I didn't like that. I just talked about so much personal stuff, and it was just like stuff very referential to like Southern Ontario and my life, or talk about moments that are just very applicable to people who know me and my friends, and not really enticing to anyone who just happens to stumble upon it. Ethan has mentioned some of these videos have been popping up in his recommended videos thing. He's getting algorithmed, so maybe it's starting to branch out more if I put enough out on the internet that it's starting to draw more people in. So I think the thumbnails, fixing those that's kind of a key thing I wanted to work on last week, and I think I have worked on it. I have like a 6-minute video of me in front of this green screen here, just posing, doing a whole bunch of different poses with like nothing in my hands, and then paintbrushes and then controllers for the Proton Paints and Steam Clean. So you'll see a lot more creative thumbnails, I hope, all in the same sweater. So for the next however many videos I can squeeze, I can probably just do that forever, those same poses. So just doing the cliche YouTube thing, just my face in different emotions, holding different things. I had some ideas that I think are more creative, that you should see popping up when I have more time, because I have spent a lot of time at the job I don't want to talk about. But let's talk about the positives of how I think this podcast has gone. The first thing I think is just my enthusiasm to do it. The way I talk to the microphone and the camera and use people is a lot more natural, and just it flows a lot easier. The first episode and the first few, I was like so focused on just having this one topic and really hammer it out, and like I wanted to get all my points across, and I was very monotone and dull, and like I was just talking like this, and so I did this and that, and my life's really hard, and I'm an alcoholic, and then I need therapy, and then stuff like that. And then by like episode 4, I think I had started like, hey, just talk about stories and stuff, and just like use your personality. And I think that I've grown and grown on that, and that this is probably a lot easier to listen to. Hopefully I have like more enthusiasm is like it keeps people's attention better. Did I just like censor that people's? I felt like my lips got stuck together there. I just moisturized, if you can tell, in my face. This by the way, the video podcast is not going to be up at the same time on Friday. I do not have time to edit this tomorrow night. On Thursday, it's Wednesday at 8:47. It's a late start to the podcast. So I'm gonna have to edit this and put it out for Saturday, hopefully, or maybe Friday night if I work late at it. But yeah, just I mean, if you're listening to this audio version, I highly doubt you're then gonna go check out the video version after, unless you really like listening to this podcast twice. What was I saying? My enthusiasm has increased. My ability to talk through a full hour and 15 minutes has increased. My train of thoughts have been more fluid, and I'm less discouraging of myself when I don't like a topic I'm talking about. I'm more just easily just hop onto a new thing rather than bring it up and like harp on myself for being what I thought was boring. So those are positives. I think the quality, now that we got a video podcast, I still don't really edit the audio version. I said I want to like add more music and stuff to it, but I haven't really, nothing has come across in my mind that I'm like, this would really enhance it. So maybe I should just start trial and erroring it though. But I still think I want to go back to something I had in the old podcast, which was the the musical interludes and like separate portions of the podcast. I think that should come back. Lately, it's just been like a full, for the past, 10 episodes or so, I haven't really used them at all. I've just kind of talked through the whole thing, just like jumping around through my notes in my phone. And I think having a somewhat more of a structure to this would help. Ethan was mentioning that as well. So I think start the podcast with what's up, what's going on, how y'all doing, then maybe like a segment of me telling a story for a bit, and then a segment at the end of me like outroing and more just shenanigans and shits and gigs, stuff like that. Oh, I shouldn't curse though. Poops and laughs. I guess giggles was not a curse. Gigs, poops and gigs is that's okay. That's the sponsors can hear that one. So I think probably not gonna. Maybe it's gonna happen in this episode. Actually, I just don't have a story I want to talk about. It's very hard for me to think of stories. Just on the blue, I need something to remind me of it. But maybe something comes across my mind as I'm doing this. We'll get to that. Yeah, we'll get to that. So those are the pros. The things I want to improve on in this podcast are what I just said: having a better structure, getting more into the storytelling, which I think I have always gotten compliments, more humble brags, that my stories are entertaining and that I am a decent storyteller and I can keep people's attention. I think I would agree with those things, giving class presentations back in the day, which was an inspiration for these. I like to, keep things fresh and entertaining for people and keep their attention throughout the whole thing. So I think I have the capability of that. I just got to figure out what the heck I want to talk about. So maybe I gotta look through old Facebook photos, see if something spurs the mind. There's a lot of stories that I want to talk about, but I feel like they'd be better suited for duo podcasts, like talking about Chicago, our music trip in grade 12, or talking about our road trips to Columbus with my friends, stuff like that. But I guess I could talk about family vacations and stuff, going to Asia with my mom. So I guess there is still stuff I could talk about. But just definitive, a one and done story that's half an hour of me giving you all the details and things that happened, those would take some work to think of and kind of plan out. But we can get there. I think we can get there. This week has been very tough to get things going. I've been training at my new job, which I'm going to try not to keep talking about so much. In immense detail. I can talk about work, just not the details like when and where. I think those are the key ones. I don't want you guys to be able to track me down, which you already can because my schedule doesn't change, but whatevs. Have I done the recap of the podcast yet? Have I finished it? I'm talking to myself here. I'm not asking you guys. I don't know if there's anything else. Let me see what I wrote down. I did write down when I was lying in bed, I talked about doing my podcasting research last week of reading that podcasting subreddit, and it's like everyone's like an expert on something, and every article or like support, like how to build your podcast, how to make a great podcast, they're all like, pick something you're an expert at and just talk about that for like 40 minutes, 20 to 40 minutes. And I just like abandoned both those pieces of advice. I'm like, I'm going to go an hour at least, and I'm not going to talk about anything of note. The podcast about nothing for everyone. So I don't think, like Ethan said, I should just keep steering into like, this is my personality, this is who I am, and just keep focusing on that, which I agree, because it's also like less work for me. I don't have to go like research topics every week. I could just make up stories and just lie to you guys too. I'm a pretty good liar, so I could do that. So looking back on 20 episodes, 20 weeks has been flew by, actually. Thinking about when I started this, I had no idea that the podcast would be the biggest thing or something I enjoyed so much doing. Gosh, this light is blinding. I wonder if you can see it in my eyeballs, actually. I'm going to have the floaties when I'm looking around. Yeah, 20 weeks, September of 2021. My life it feels a lot different. It feels a lot more stable and secure. I've got the groundwork set of this podcast and of the YouTube channel, and of these, the accountability board is all set in stone. So I don't think anything has to change. I've now got this job bringing some money in, not as much money as I thought. It's only gonna be a 2-day-a-week thing for the most part, it seems, which should be enough to cover all my bills and stuff. So I could be okay, and then still have plenty of time to work on my dreams, my dreams and ambitions. Because they have not been getting worked on too much this week. It's been a very, I get home from work and I just want to lie down and sleep. I've been very lazy, and I don't like it. I don't like how it makes me feel. I wake up every morning I'm feeling energized and great, and then I get back home and we do yoga at 4 o'clock, and then I'm just like, I'm zonked, absolutely cooked. The hen is hatched, So, yeah, hopefully next week we can get back to something normal. Just gonna have Monday to Thursday off. I told you when I worked again. God damn. Gosh darn. Yeah, I'm slowing down here. Oh yeah, 20 weeks. 20 weeks. Let's just keep repeating that so people know how big of a deal it is. 20 weeks, 20 episodes. How have your guys' lives changed in the last 20 weeks? You can't answer me here, but answer it for yourself. Have you made some positive changes since listening to this podcast? Have I influenced any changes in you, maybe? Huh? Am I a good influence? Because if I hear that I'm a good influence on you, it'll make me maybe stick to better habits. So that'd be nice to hear. If you wanna help me have good habits, you could just compliment me. You could just say nice things about me. That's cool. I don't like compliments. I've always said that, even though I just asked for them. I don't normally like them face to face. I find that people compliment me, and then I'm like, okay, I just have to return the compliment, and then we're good. I'm like, that's it. The compliment exchange has been finished, and now we're fine. And then out of the blue, if someone compliments me, I'm like, oh shit, what am I? Poop. Oh poop. What am I gonna say? I need to think of something nice to say. And then I just say something pretty weak, and then they walk away, and then I think of all the compliments I want to say to them. Yeah. That's why I don't like getting compliments, because I feel like it puts me on the spot, and I'm very bad at just accepting it and be like, oh, thank you very much, I appreciate that, that means a lot to me. Over text or something, they're super easy to dismiss, and I can be like, I don't have to react facially and emotionally to look oh, thank you, wow, it means a lot to me. Instead it's more a panic going on inside. I'm like, oh god, he's complimenting me, what am I gonna do, what am I gonna say? So if you guys just could compliment me in the virtual world is what I'm saying. Is don't compliment me to my face. Don't come up to me and say, hey Aaron, we've really enjoyed, we've we got together and we wanted to tell you that we've really enjoyed your podcast, and it's a bright spot of our weeks every spurt. It's a bright spot of our week every week. It's a bright spot. It's a bright spot of our week. Yes, that is what you could compliment me with. It's a bright spot of a week. You can tell I'm tired because it's just slow. The engines aren't revving too hot. And I did my face routine, my teeth brushing routine right before, and that includes Listerine. I heard scary noises outside. I think the issue was I rolled my chair out in the hallway last time because there's not a lot of room in here when I get the green screen set up, and I'm sitting on this, you can't even see. I'm sitting on like a wooden kitchen chair, like your default, standard wooden chair, your kitchen table chair, with like the curved back and like the wooden slats vertically in the back, and like the four-legged with the horizontal supports, and the kind of like the bottom is like an oblong ovular with embossed edging, that kind of chair. That's what I sit on. It's a gaming podcast. It's a podcasting chair. It's not a gaming chair. Those are trash. Yeah. So I rolled my wheelie chair out into the hallway, and I think Ethan had his window open, and like that slight breeze was just enough to like rotate the chair. So every like full rotation, it would like slowly scrape across my door and sound like someone was like scratching at it, like a little kitten was out there. So like I finished the podcast and I went out, and I heard his fan like rotating and like click, 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 and I thought like I'm 90% sure it's just his fan going, but there is a chance that is actually someone clicking on his keyboard, and I thought he was like getting hacked or something. I don't know why. Like, I don't know what someone would steal off of his computer, but I just, in my head, the vision I saw was like a dude in a ski mask, like hunched over his computer, like furiously typing away. There's like the green text on the computer screen, like those, the hacker numbers, like the matrix numbers coming down the screen. He's like hacking away, and I was like freaking out. So I grabbed a pencil in one hand and turned on the flashlight on my phone, and then slowly crept and like jumped around the doorway and like shone my light in it, and it was just the fan turning. But I don't know what I was going to do. I told you before, I'm like a fight or flight. I'm flight 100%. So if there did happen to be like a hacker and I like, huh, what are you doing? And he like turned around, I am then going to like run down the hallway, probably push the chair like at him to like stumble him, and then make my way all the way down all the stairs, out the front door, and I'm gone. Spencer, you're on your own. You got to fend for yourself. Yeah. But I very commonly, I'm a scaredy cat. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before. Like, I don't like windows at nighttime. Incredibly scary. Whenever I come up from like gaming back at home in the basement, it'd be like late at night, and I go upstairs. Our basement kind of opens in the middle of the hallway between the kitchen and the front entryway. So if you come up the basement stairs and look to your right, the back door like of the kitchen is on your right, and then the front door is on the left. And I like avoid looking to my right in case there's some chance that there's like a guy standing at the window like looking at me ready to get in, or like whenever I like go out to like smoke a doobie, which I don't do anymore. We are 27 days off weed and 147 days off booze, by the way, if you're keeping track. Whenever I like go outside like smoking the jazz cabbage back home, and like it'd be like late at night, like 1 or 2 in the morning, like a late night gaming session with the boys, I get like freaked out that like someone's gonna be hiding behind my barbecue like waiting for me, like, oh, they know my smoking schedule, they know I'm gonna go outside at some point late at night, and that's when they'll get me, and they're just waiting for me like unlock the door and go out. Then they're gonna pounce on that opportunity. Yeah, I'm very scared of like getting robbed and stuff like that. And like I hear a lot of like scary noises, and like I would like grab a knife and like carry it around with me like just in case, which is that's like just asking for me to stab a roommate or a family member. But that's now that I've warned you, maybe don't sneak up on me at nighttime, because you're fitting to get a stabbing, is what I'm saying. Yeah, so 20 episodes, 20 weeks. No, we're done with that, because I don't know what else I want to talk about that. I appreciate the podcast. I love the podcast. It's going to stay on for a long time. I think I could grow it. I just need to get better content. That's all I want to say about it, which I've already said about that like 4 times. This is why no one's listening, Aaron. This is why I put on this shirt just for this podcast. Because I was like, red. I know there's no green in red, which now I'm hoping that these checker boxes are in fact black and not like a dark green. But I feel like if they were dark green, I wouldn't even see them. So hopefully, I also read some tips that you should light your green screen separately. I don't know how the lighting worked in like the last episode so well. I don't know what I did that it looks like so good. Like it looks like me. Even in this, looking at this recording right now, I'm much darker than what I was last time. So I don't know. I don't know what I did. I don't know how I set up the lights. I don't know what was going on in that episode. I was glowing. I was radiant. So I gotta figure that out. But lighting, I think, is the next thing I want to work on. I got the webcam. That's good for filming. My phone's good for filming. I got the microphone my sister got me. I got this microphone for the podcast. I got the green screen. So like the only last thing I need is like lighting, which I think we all need for all the sketches we're doing. Because we have like all these lamps, just an assortment of lamps we set up around the rooms, and like turning on lights and opening windows and like finding the way to balance the light out. But I think having some stand-up like LED lights would be the next key step in production value. Which, speaking of production value, I got a compliment about the Steam Clean video I put out on Monday. It was just a 3-minute results video, but I was told by an unnamed source, Klaus, that it was like professional YouTuber quality and like very. He said the commentary is great and like very natural, which I appreciate that because I didn't plan it out. I just like hit record and went. The editing was great, which it was like a 6-minute video. I cut it down to 3 minutes. I felt like I got it like concise enough and like had some fun with it. So I felt good about that one. I'm excited for Steam Clean to start up. Don't worry, non-gamers, I won't talk about this for too long. So I got to record that. I know I said to record on Tuesdays, but I had to do Proton Paints last night, which should be uploaded right now for any of you art folks. It was uploading like before I started recording this podcast. I had forgot to add the intro into it last night, so I couldn't upload it for this morning. But yeah, it should be up now. A new painting about my difficulty with hands and an idea not coming totally to fruition, which is kind of like all my paintings, really. But speaking of Proton Paints, next week's episode, I'm very excited about. It's a painting that it's very different from all my last ones. It's an idea I had, once again, that I hope has not been done before. Again, if I was a more talented artist, I think it would have been even cooler. But the idea I had, it came across. So I'm excited for you guys to see that one. It's like I think it's probably a shorter one. I don't think it took me very long to paint that at all, like an hour and a half or something. So it'd probably only be like a 10-minute video or something, or it can be however long I want, actually. Yeah, that's the content coming out this week. I think for my social media and stuff too, I want to start like recording little short videos, just introducing what videos I put up. Maybe like an end of week recap I could put out on Instagram and Facebook, because I think just posting the thumbnails of the video is kind of redundant if you're already subscribed to me. And like you get the podcast like right in your inbox already, you get the YouTube videos right in your inbox. So I don't think just being like, hey, you can't even click a link in the Instagram post to go to the video. So it's like, hey, there is a video on my YouTube channel that you have to then go to my YouTube channel separately. So that's something. There's always something to work on. There's always something to work on, which I feel good about too. I was thinking about this in the shower, thinking about having this new job and like past jobs I've had, and then I've never really had a job that's like challenged me until YouTube. Like every other job I've had is like I know what I'm doing. I go in, I do it, and then I leave, and then the next day I just go do the same thing. But YouTube, I'm constantly in this podcast. I'm constantly like, okay, I can do this better. I can improve on this. And even if I don't know exactly what I can improve on, I then take time to think about, okay, what can I do to make this better? What can I do to improve this? I always want to make the next one better. So like this is kind of like the first job, even though it's more of a hobby still right now than a job. But I guess maybe I should just call it a job because I want it to be my job. You put what you want into the world. So maybe if I just start defining it as my job, someone will start paying me for it. But I like this. It's very hard to get noticed, as you could tell on YouTube and podcasting networks. Hopefully with the new thumbnails, I think that'll be a good, because now if it pops up in people's recommendeds, it'll be like more enticing. I still gotta figure out like what words to put in my thumbnails. I don't want to do the stupid like big red arrow like pointing at my dumb face. Be like, hey, this guy paints. Yay! He's colorblind and he paints. What? Crazy. Where's it going with that? yeah, the thumbnails would be great for the algorithm for popping up in recommendeds. But I need to just like also focus on like my videos need to have like they gotta like have a beat to them. Same with the podcast, just so like you guys are just constantly listening. When you think there's a lull coming, boom, got you back. There's a new exciting thing. Right now we're talking about guitar capos. It's not. See, unlike that, can't do stuff like that. We'd have to do. There's gotta be something. There's gotta be something around here that's gonna remind me of a story. Oh, I see. I see paintball. Free paintball admissions. Free paintball admissions. No, admissions with an AD. An ad mission. It's an ad mission for paintball at Wasaga Beach Paintball Adventure. We went 2018, I want to say. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. It's 2017 or 2018. It was not 2019 or 2020. So I'm going to say 2018, final answer. We had gone with myself, Sarah, Reed, Sana. That was it. Just the four of us. I think the girls had never gone paintballing before. So us two lads were like, we're gonna show you guys what's up. We're two tough guys. We're butch. You know, we shoot stuff. So we went to this paintball place in Wasaga Beach. Wasaga. I say Wasaga. Do I say Wasaga? Yeah, Wasaga. But I think a lot of people say it's Wasaga. A lot of people not from like southern people, like people from like Toronto and stuff, say it's Wasaga. It's Wasaga. Like, it's Wasaga. It's Wasaga. I gotta stop distracting myself like that. Yeah, we went and there was like a kid's birthday party the same time we were there. So we were playing against like a bunch of 12-year-olds. And then at every paintball place, there's always like the vets that have like the high fire rate tactical gear. They're like dressed in a full ghillie suit. They're like all decked out. It happens every single time you go. They're always like there by themselves. Or, like there's a pair or two of them, you know, like practicing like their new speedball guns on all these like little kids trying to play capture the flag. And then us in the so when you go, you get a like a semi-auto like gun, paintballs, of course, you need those, a like big camo poncho or camo jacket. I think it had a hood on it, camo jacket, and a mask. And that's what you get if you're just like you're just going for funsies. And then you have the professional guys with like air tanks on their backs and like extra paintball canisters and like a gas mask in case there's a mustard gas attack. Whatever, they got all this kind of stuff, like infrared laser sights, night vision goggles. One guy had like a paint brush to use his knife and like slit your throat. It was crazy. So we played like the first round. It was a lot of fun. We were playing a bunch of 12-year-olds. I was still like, I've only been paintballing when I was really young, and it like really hurt. I was always scared to get shot. I remember like the first time I went, I was just like lighting this guy up until I found out that it was the referee that I was shooting at the whole time. And I felt bad about that. And then there were like a lot of rounds when I was like in 5th grade where I just got like too scared and like just put my hands up and like, oh, I got hit. I'm out. See ya. I'm gone. And then like walk to the bench and like wipe some paint off my hand like onto my sweater or something. Like, yeah, he got me right here in the kidney. I'm out. Damn. Because I was just like so afraid of getting shot. I remember one time I got hit like in the bladder and I peed my pants. It was right before the car ride home, so I'd like ride all the way home with my leg crossed over myself and like, you know, hide the big pee stain on my my pants. And we were having a sleepover at this guy's house. So like as soon as like the van got back to the house, I like quickly made my way like out of the van, like ran into the house, grabbed like a change of clothes and changed my pants really quickly before anyone saw. And I totally got away with it. No one saw that I peed my pants. Which that's a terrifying moment, riding in a car. I wasn't even scared of my friend, like, seeing. It was like his little brothers were ruthless. Like, they were going to make fun of me way more. They're like 3 years younger than me. And I was in 5th grade, so they were in like 2nd grade, and I was scared of them. It was crazy. I was always a wuss. There's not just now, I was always a wuss. But, yeah, we went paintballing 3 or 4 years ago, whatever. The time is the stories all over the place, like all of mine are. Yeah, we're playing like 12-year-olds. The first game, I remember like hiding in a van for a bit, and then right at the end, I kind of like made a flank and like met up with the rest of the friends I went with. And there's right at the end, there may be like 30 seconds left. Like this little 12-year-old kid pops out maybe 30 meters in front of me. So I like aim, shoot, like twice maybe. I think I shoot twice. Both of them hit Sarah, who's on my team, standing like 15 feet in front of me, just in the back of her shoulder. And I like put my gun down, like, oh, where'd those paintballs come from? I'm like looking all around, like in the sky, like, whoa, I think a bird just dropped some paintballs on you. That's crazy. What? She immediately knew it. It came from me. There's nowhere else it could have come from. Yeah, did not hit that 12-year-old boy. Just lit up Sarah. And then after she called me out, and I remember I got hit in the neck, I think, right after that. So I had like this big white splotch on my neck. And I remember I'm trying to remember this conversation as accurately as I could. But I was like, oh man, it looks like I got like mayonnaise all over my neck. Like, looked like I just ate like a mayonnaise-y sandwich. And then Sarah just goes, or worse. And then everyone like laughed, like, oh, Sarah, dirty joke. Because Sarah does not normally make dirty jokes. Like, oh, wow, Sarah, getting dirty. And then just ever so quietly under her voice, she goes, I meant bird poop. And that was even funnier. Oh, I meant bird poop. Not cum. I meant bird poop. That was funny. That was funny. And not just because she's my ex. It was funny, like, just in the moment, too. So, Sarah, I'm giving you that credit. I'm giving you the credit of being funny in that moment. And I want all my listeners to know at that moment Sarah was funny. And then second round, we're playing Capture the Flag or something. And these guys went super try hard. I remember we were, like, locked in this building for most of it. Right at the end, they're like, 30 seconds left. And we, like, Reed and I were, like, went for a running flank to, like, try and get to the flag and, like, touch it at least to get something done in the round. And there's this guy, like, in his full ghillie suit, just lying in the ground, just, like, lights up Reed. No one could see him. I didn't get shot, luckily. But Reed got out, and then, like, the timer went up, and he, like, just stood up out of a bush. No one even saw him. Like, what? Like, come on, dude. Why are you trying so hard? The dude's literally camping in, like, real-life paintball. Like, it's Call of Duty. Like, come on, dude. Run around, like, all the little kids don't know what they're doing. They're, like, just, like, shooting the ground and shooting the walls. A lot of them are, like, scared, like me, like I was. When I was 12, and also, like, in that very moment as a 22-year-old or whatever, however old I was in 2018. 20, even older, 23 or 24. I don't know. You guys do that math. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then game 3, I don't remember what the game type was. All I know is in game 3, Reed decided he's going to go for a power slide into some cover, and he, like, scraped up his knee. So he ended up, like, having to go off to the first aid tent to get some band-aids and stuff. And then we find out that the band-aids were not enough, and they couldn't stop the bleeding on Reed's knee from his little itty-bitty power slide, and that he was no longer allowed to play paintball. This is on our third game. We had just bought, like, reloads of paint. We were getting into it. Everyone was, like, excited and, like, starting to understand the game, and Reed went and ruined it by hurting himself. So then we had to end up, like, they gave us these free admission coupons that I was looking at over on my windowsill. Then we had to go drive Reed to Aurelia so we could go sit in the hospital while he got stitches. And that is how we spent most of the day. Spent like 4, 5, 6 hours or something like that. It was a long wait in the hospital. And he got some stitches, and then we drove back home. And that was our paintball adventure. So there's a story. I told you there'd be something around this room that would give me a story. I don't think there's any other details. There was a sign at the hospital for a guy named Aaron Reed. That was kind of neat because there's, like, both of our names together. We got some Tim Hortons. Was Henry there too? I think Henry was there too. No, I'm thinking about getting Tim Hortons. Was it just 3 of us, or was it? I feel like Henry was there too. I should count. Sorry, Henry, if you were there the whole time and I did not include you, that's my bad. That's my bad. But now that I'm remembering it, I feel like, yeah, there was 2 guys and 2 girls in Tim Hortons, and Reed was not one of them because we were picking him up his breakfast sandwich. Yeah, there's 5 of us. There was definitely 5 of us in the car. 3 in the back, 2 in the front. Yeah, that checks out. My bad, Henry. And now if you actually weren't there, that's also my bad even more. That's there goes my memory. Yeah. What was I talking about before that? I don't know. I think I was just looking for stuff to talk about. I have to learn the Call of Duty alphabet. Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta Echo Foxtrot Hotel A B C D E F G H India Juliet Kilo did I say golf? I think I skipped golf. EF Echo Foxtrot Golf. See, I know all of them, but I just can't say them in order because I forget the alphabet order. But I don't forget the alphabet order. I just can't say the alphabet using just the words. Juliet, Kilo, Lima, Mike, November, Oscar, LMNO, Papa, P, Quebec, Romeo, Sierra, QRS, T. Oh, I know T. Tango, T, Tango, Uniform, Victor, Tango, Uniform, TUV, Tango, TUV. I got the alphabet wrong. I already said QRS, Quebec, Romeo, Sierra. QRS, TUV. No, it's not. QRS comes before TUV. This is now just Aaron tries to remember the alphabet on the podcast. TUV, W, Whiskey, X-Ray, Yankee, Zulu. I think that's all of them. That's a... If I just saw the letter, I could tell you it. But to just say them, that's tough. That's tougher than I thought it would be. But I had to learn that for work because everything's like automated, like vocally. Like I talk to this a female robot in my ear, and she tells me what I need to pack on the pallets. And you can't just say the letter because there's like they all sound too similar to each other. So they use the Call of Duty alphabet. Yeah, so that's I had to go drop off a pallet today. I'm like, P is P Peru, J is P Peru. Another funny little anecdote from work is the first day I was just chatting with my trainer, and I am normally like I said I do great in the interview, and then I just shut right up at the job, and like I just like yeah, cool, that sounds fun, yeah. I don't really like share any information about myself or like have conversations. It's always just one side of me just like nodding my head yeah, and like keeping myself just doing the job. But I've like put in an effort to like just like be more chatty and like just talk to people and just like say what's on my mind and like participate in conversations. And I've done way better at this job now, which is cool, which is very cool. It's been over half an hour since my mouthwash. I think I started talking about that, and then I got distracted on something by putting some Listerine mouthwash, teeth whitening, and you have to wait half an hour before you can drink or eat anything. So I am going to I'll finish that story about work right after a quick sip from our sponsors, H2O. It's on the top, even when you nap. H2O, thank you H2O for sponsoring the podcast once again. Now back to the story of me talking to a trainer. So we were just like, me and this other guy were taking turns just driving the power loader like around some pylons, like you're learning to drive a car, just like doing like figure eights and like left hand turns and stuff like that. And he was like, the other guy's 17 that's training with us, and our trainer's just like, yeah, it's telling me like he should like go to college for like a trade or something, you know, like there's a lot of jobs out there, you can make a lot of money, you know, he's still young, you should be looking at school rather than just like getting a job like this. And then he like looked at me, he's like, yeah, even you too, like 25, 27, like you could definitely go to school. I'm like, oh yeah, I have 2 degrees, like I'm here by choice. It's I'm educated. And he's like, oh well, yeah, good for you. Like my kids, they just want to be YouTubers. Like that's what they dream of being. And I was like, oh, okay, well, have I got news for you? I actually quit my well-paying job because I myself want to become a YouTuber. I did not tell him that. He didn't push the conversation any further beyond that. I think he felt a little bad, and he like kind of changed topics. Or he was just like, oh my god, this freaking guy's a YouTuber. Are you kidding me? I did try and like be like, hey, yeah, I got my schooling to fall back on. I'm trying this out. If it doesn't work out, I can figure out something else. I'm not too worried about my future. And honestly, I don't even know if like being a YouTuber per se is like what I wanna is like the end goal. The end goal is to just be like employed by myself. By like myself as my boss, not employed like where I'm the only. I guess I would be the only employee, so both grammatically versions of that would be work accurate. But I want to be like, I don't want a boss. I want to be in charge of my own, like be able to make myself money just with my own like talents. That's the end goal. It doesn't necessarily have to be on YouTube. Like this podcast is not on YouTube. It is on YouTube, but not like majority. Majority do not listen to it on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm getting at? So YouTube, I think saying I want to be a YouTuber is kind of like diminishing the goal and sounds like a little, like kids say they want to be YouTubers because they're watching YouTube gameplays on YouTube. Yeah, but yeah, I want more than that, and I've thought this out more than his 12-year-old boys have. So yeah, I'm gonna be a YouTuber. So that was the little work. That's the work story I'll tell you. The rest of it has just been like, I mean, if there was one other little thing, like the 17-year-old that's training, his name's Hussein. Yet for some reason, no one else can like call him that. No one else gets his name right ever, including our guy training him. They all call him like Hassan, or some guy called him Hasib. Like there's not even a B in his name. He was reading his name and said Hasib. Like, how do you even get Hasib out of that? I feel bad for him because like everyone's like Hassan, Hussein. No one seen the name Hussein before? I feel bad for him. Like, and he's, everyone gets Aaron right ever since AAO came out. That was like, when that skit first came out, I was very, like, I got so annoyed because everyone's like, have you seen this skit? Have you seen how funny this is? Like, this is your name, Aaron. Have you heard that before? And I was like, yes, I've heard it. I get it, blah, blah, blah. But then, like, everyone learned how to spell my name. I would always countlessly get people spelling my name Erin all the time. And now everyone knows Aaron. Everyone knows how to spell it now. So I'm like, I'm kind of thankful for that. And I can just be like, when people are like, can't remember my name, I just be like, hey, double Aaron, or like Aaron, people remember my name better and they put the name to the space. So that's that. I don't have the same problem Hussein has. Imagine his name wasn't Hussein. I just got it wrong. That'd be funny. Not for him, but for me. Yeah. So I've been watching these other YouTube videos on YouTube as the 12-year-old kids do. And there's this guy called Sunny V2. I hope I haven't talked about this before. It was in the notes from last week, and I don't think I got to it. But he essentially makes like little mini documentaries, like the rise and fall of this YouTuber, or just the rise sometimes just the fall. And there's like very common threads you see. So for the people, let's talk about the people who fall first. So they build up a channel, like usually very quickly, to like 6 million plus subscribers, and they're like, for like a year, they're like super big and super popular, and then they just like lose all viewership and fans. Like they really tip off the scales, usually due to like they were making their channel based off a fad. Like Fortnite and Minecraft are very good examples of that. The games like really blew up in popularity, everyone wanted to watch them, and now they've really kind of like dipped off. And then those YouTubers like aren't able to adapt to a new game, or like going to the new game, like they just don't have the same appeal to other people. Their like content was just very solely based on this one thing, or they'd like just lie and like clickbait all the time, and people like finally caught on to it. They like do like fake giveaways and stuff. And like the very common trend when people are like on the falling and their videos have like, they're getting way less views, their like excuse is always like, oh, it's YouTube's algorithms, like it's changed, it really it's really let me down, it's YouTube's fault, you guys don't see my videos, blah 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 blah. And they're always like, there's never any ownership on them. It's never that, oh, my videos might not be that good, maybe I need to improve them. And that's probably the key. It's just the quality of the content I'm putting out isn't that good. It's never that. It's always something else's problem. And that's like the common thing of the downfall of YouTubers who make it, which I'm realizing is not like a very, very small percentage of YouTubers actually make it. So like my chances are like so slim. I really got to count on these lucky horseshoes to like, get me one video like reaches some popular YouTuber that'll like shout me out. That's what I'm rooting for. Alana Pierce is my goal. Alana Pierce, notice me, please. You're a gamer. I'm a gamer. Look at that. We could she does like a new podcast every month, I swear. She's got like 4 different podcasts. I do podcasts too, Alana. Let's podcast. You can do a Alana air out. Alana Moana. Alana. There's a pun in there somewhere. I'll think of it. Not on camera though. Yeah, and then the YouTubers that are successful and do keep making it, The key is that they first spent like years making really trash videos, just like trying out a bunch of different things. Sound familiar? And just like seeing what's gonna stick, what's gonna happen. And eventually they catch something, they catch a wave, and like people really like this thing, and they like focus on that thing, and then after that they've got the audience, and now they can branch out once again and like do new things. And that's how like a good YouTuber like builds. And then some of them like have a scandal where they like talk to underage girls and stuff like that, and they diddle kids, and that just happens to cause a downfall. I don't think that's gonna be my problem. I am very uninterested in underage girls. The only aged girls I like are over-aged girls. Over, just not underage. Any girl that's I feel like this is a risky topic to talk about. Just I like women, adult women. Get that on the record. Yeah. So they slow growth, like a lot of crappy videos, but I think the slow growth is key because like that whole time they're figuring out what doesn't work and what does work, and they're improving their editing. There's like this slow like progression in their videos, getting better and better. So I feel like I'm already on that stage of making crappy videos and slow. I don't know if you can call it slow growth. It's really just been like plateau growth of getting essentially 20 views per video, which I mean all my subscribers watch all my videos. The retention time is not good on them. I'll tell you that much. People do not get through very much on average. They do not get through very much of my videos, which I think is fair. There's not a lot of content in my longer form ones, unless like the painting videos, the commentary is not doing much for it. I gotta figure out what I want to do for that. I think the painting is fine. I feel like the painting with just music might even be almost better than me like just awkwardly trying to figure out what to say in the video. Like you'll see in the last one that's uploading right now. It's already up by the time you are hearing this. If you want to go check it out. Proton Paints episode 3. I don't know what to do with my hands, I believe is what I called it. So go check that out and you'll see what I mean. I just kind of sit down and watch it and like just talk over it. I don't like write in any notes or anything like that. It was supposed to be like, oh, my artistic insights as a colorblind artist. And like, I got no insights. I don't know what. This thing was in my head and then I painted out to the best of my efforts. That's about it. I tried to pick the colors that I think matched the best. I could say that for every single video and we're good. What was I saying? Yeah, the YouTubers that blow up. That's what it. Yeah, they slow growth, really like connected to their thing. Their ability to adapt. They take ownership when things aren't going well, and they realize that they have to do better. They have to like change things up. They're always willing to work on themselves and like work on new things. So that's the key to being a successful YouTuber. That is what I've learned from those videos. Don't be egotistical and don't blame everything else for your downfall. Always, I think, and it applies to everything in life. Is always if you take ownership of it, and like you always just aim to improve, like you can succeed much more at everything than people who are just like, this is not my fault. This is everyone else's fault. It is not on me. You know, be like Robert E. Lee. He took the blame for those losses. Be like him. Yeah, that was. I remember that note just by looking at my phone. I just knew it was on there. There's not much else on the notes pad that I think would be an enticing conversation. There's a lot of stuff like how do I grow this podcast, find a niche, do I do it like a TED Talk? Yeah, so that's something I got to work on that I'm feeling right now. It's these moments that I realize I need something to talk about, something to say. We're 50 minutes in. I still got to do like at least another 10 minutes, get an hour out of this podcast. This week has been a real bummer for me. I haven't felt great about it. Not doing a lot of the accountability boards, missing a lot of the habits. I have been very tired, as I said, after work, but I'm kind of using that as an excuse too. Like I spent a lot of time lying in bed. Monday, I just literally slept. I slept from 7 till 9:45. Then I read till about 11:30, and then went back to sleep. So Monday was just shot. Yesterday, I just worked on that Proton Paints video. Didn't get it uploaded. Kind of gave up at like 9 o'clock. I got way too tired. Just gave up. Went to bed. And then today, I did yoga with Ethan. We chatted till like 6:30, and ate some dinner, took a shower, and here I am just doing this. So like that's I haven't really played guitar. I played guitar once this week. Haven't drawn anything. Haven't written anything. I gotta do a new painting. I haven't painted in like 2 weeks now. So I'm kind of letting myself down, kind of being a downer on myself. Trying not to let it get to me and trying to be like, I wrote in my book, my journal. I'm still journaling every day. Still keeping up with that. You know, it's a good way to like vent out my thoughts at the end of the day. And like I know after this I got a bunch of clean clothes that I just dumped on my bed to prevent myself from like lying down and going to sleep when I got home. That now I gotta fold all those. I'm not looking forward to that. Fold them and put them away. Although I might just fold them and put them back in the laundry basket and leave that for tomorrow. But at least they're folded. Then that's like at least something done. But yeah, I've had a strong lack of motivation, which motivation comes from action, and I have not been doing actions. I have been doing nothings. Just like sitting around being lazy and feeling like, oh, I'm too tired from work. I can't do anything. I got to get a good night's sleep for work the next day. Like my mornings are good. I've been getting up. I used to be someone who would just wake up so that I had enough time to like just get dressed and run out the door to go to work like 5 minutes before I had to leave. Like if I know it's 20 minutes to get me to work, I'd wake up 25 minutes before work so I could just get dressed, get in my car and go. And then I'm just like arriving at work pretty much fresh out of bed, pretty tired and like just immediately have to get to it. And now I'm getting up like I get up an hour and a half before work. I make a tea in the morning, kind of, you know, get dressed, you know, do my thing. Some mornings I take a shower, some mornings I don't if I don't have to. We got a massive snowstorm here Monday. Like my first day of work, my car was buried in snow. So I was planning to get to work like 20 minutes early. And by the time I had my car like all brushed off, and then the route there was like so much slower than it would have normally been, I ended up actually being like 2 minutes late. Which luckily a lot of people called in sick and like didn't even make it in. So I looked great that I actually showed up like through all that, and I was like panicked my whole ride there, like, oh my god, I'm gonna be late on my first day. This is so brutal. And I showed up at like 7:31. And I was like, oh god, they're gonna be so upset. Like I ruined it. And like 2 people didn't show up, and yeah, I was on good terms. I don't know why I brought that up, but like yeah, I've been getting up early. I get to work like 20 minutes before my shift starts, so I'm not like in a rush to do things. Like I like take my time walking around there, you know, figure things out. I gotta make some friends at work. I don't really know how, because it's like a very individual job. Like will be, other than training with people, I will be by myself. I'm talking about work just like I said I wasn't going to, but I got nothing else. So like I don't know what we're always gonna be like. We're driving around like on power jacks. Like if I just see a guy in the aisle, I'm gonna go like, hey, what's going on? Like lean over, like, hey, Aaron Brock here. How you guys doing? Hey, nice to meet you. Hey, I like those pallets. You're doing a great job stacking there. Hey, you like painting videos? I got some painting videos for you. I do a podcast, by the way, too. Check me out on YouTube. All right, see ya. Bye. You know, that's like, I don't think that's really gonna happen. They have a cafeteria, but you're only allowed 1 person per table. They got like Home Depot buckets flipped upside down on every other chair. So everyone's just like sitting by themselves in the cafeteria. So I can't like just go find the cool group of kids or adults and go like just sit down with them. This place it's all dudes, by the way. It's like, it's a manual labor job. It's just a total sausage fest. A lot of masks under the nose. Yeah. And I am one of them. I just wear like a neck warmer because it is cold where I'm working. I'm working like the God, I'm not just gonna tell you when I work and where I work. I'm gonna tell you specifically in the building where I work, so you can really track me down. But I'm in like the perishable sections, like the refrigerated stuff, the meats, the produce, the dairy, all that stuff is me. So it's like 0 to 8 degrees at all times, which is gonna suck in the summer because I have to like wear like warm clothes and like change to shorts and t-shirt when I'm leaving. But what was I saying? Why did I bring that up? Why did I bring up the temperature? I don't remember. Making friends at work. Oh, it's all dudes, anti-maskers. Yeah, and I wear like a neck warmer as my mask. A lot of people do. So I just like pull it up over my face. It's not stopping COVID. I know that. It's all for show. But like, I think half these guys that work there aren't vaccinated. Very, very, probably anti-Trudeau. Yeah. So like, I mean, I'm kind of like a chameleon. I can chat I've worked with blue collar guys before. I worked with white collar guys before. You know, I get all around. I'm just a like a dude that just fits in when I'm like, I can figure out what people like and what they want to talk about. That's what my strengths. When I do like put myself out there and talk, there's a lot of times where I would not in the past where I did not talk and I was very introverted, but I'm trying to become more extroverted, as you can see by this podcast. Yeah, so it's like all dudes, a lot of sports talk, which I can fake sports talk for a good amount. Like, I got a fantasy hockey team, though I don't watch hockey. I crush at fantasy hockey for not watching any hockey at all. Like, it's very impressive. I don't watch basketball. I don't watch football. I don't watch baseball. I'm aware of all those sports and how they work. And, like, if you bring up the teams, like, I'm aware of the teams. And, like, I know some players on every team. But I can't get into in-depths of what happened in last night's game or anything like that. And then they always like talking about cars and stuff too. My trader though, he's like big into history, so we've been talking about history lately. Because I've been like, hey, I've been really getting into it lately actually also. And we're talking about the Civil War and stuff today, and he gave me some good movies to watch after we're done this Ken Burns series. So that's cool. I find people just like to talk, like just having a conversation about anything. I was always so concerned about talking about the right thing. People just like talking, like having someone to talk to at work. Just like sort of not just thinking about work. That's all I want, really. So it's actually not that hard, really, if you think about it. You just gotta, whatever's on your mind, you just kind of say it, and then they usually just respond with something that's on their mind, and you just go back and forth a bunch of times, and the topic just like flows all around like this podcast. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do just fine there. However long I last there, we'll see. You know, if something else comes up, I'll change shifts. Not change shifts there. I'll shift gears, I think is what I was trying to say. I like my day shifts. If you didn't already know, I'm there 7:30 to 3:30 if you're looking for me in the perishable department. If you need to track me down, A positive blood. If you're like looking for a kidney transplant or something, just let the hospital know all those details. They'll find me. They'll get there. Yeah. 57 minutos. Yeah. I don't know, guys. I don't know. What am I going to do? How am I going to keep myself motivated? Do you guys have any ways that you keep yourself on track? I got it, because I feel myself slipping. And it is a slippery slope. Like, you can undo a lot of good habits in like 2 weeks of bad habits. 2 weeks of bad habits can erase a lot of progress. So you gotta catch these things quick, and like make sure you're staying on top of things. I mean, step one would be like get these clothes all folded up at least neatly. Maybe tidy this room up. That's a big help. Is waking up to a clean room. Having a dirty room like just makes you feel lazy and sluggish. So yeah, keep this room clean. I've been attacking these warts on my foot. They are, I'm getting down to like a very sensitive layer of skin. The acid is starting to burn my feet, so I feel like I'm supposed to stop for a couple of days, but I'm worried that's like gonna, watching all these things on the Civil War, you don't want to give them too much time to, regroup. They could come back even stronger. You gotta keep pushing. I'm not McClellan out here. I'm Grant. Most of you might not know if you aren't familiar with the Civil War, but Ethan would. So that's for you, Ethan. Oh boy, the goals in my accountability board just says don't be a degen 2022, do something with your life. So that's what I gotta remind myself, is not to be a degen, a degenerate. We're not degens here though. I dare and air out. No, we're not degens. We are regens. We are regenerating into something better. We're all about getting better here and becoming bigger than we once were. So remember, don't compare yourself to other people. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. And yesterday I was incredibly lazy. Although I say incredibly lazy, and I did spend like 2.5 hours making a video and working on it. But again, that video came out and I'm not like super stoked on the quality. It was just like, I just wrote some titles over it. And then halfway through the commentary, I just started reading my subtitles back to myself and chuckling. Like that's where the commentary went. If you want a spoiler alert. Yeah, I got a bunch of art supplies I should practice with. Oh, this is just Aaron's killing time. I gotta stop using that phrase though. I want to stop using that phrase, killing time. I should be like appreciative of my time. I could always be doing something I want to do. rather than just like wasting time. Wasting time. That's a bad phrase. You should eliminate that phrase. Why would you want to waste time? You should spend all your time doing something you enjoy. It doesn't have to be productive, but like a nap is not wasted time if you're sleepy, or like eating is not wasted time if you're hungry. But don't eat because you're bored. I do that a lot. Just looking for I need a dopamine kick, so I just eat junk food, and then I don't feel any better afterwards. I feel actually worse than when I started, and then I need the nap. Yeah, so I try not to waste time. I want my time to be of good use, and so I can like look back on my days when I'm writing my journal at night, be like, hell yeah, crushed it, which I've done for like the past 10 days. Just like the last 2 days, I've been like writing to myself like, hey, you're slipping a bit. You gotta step this up. You are better than this. You are worth more than this. You don't have to be a degen. You don't have to. I like the cut of your jib, Aaron. You got spunk, kid. You got a lot of chutzpah, as they say. Yeah, have I dragged this on long enough? We're over an hour. I can officially say we kept it over an hour. All the last ones have been like an hour 10, so I don't know if you guys. I feel like it's worse though to just like keep dragging it on for no reason whatsoever. Like I feel like at this point you're not really gaining anything from the podcast. It's just me keeping you here for if you just like missed my voice or something. If this is just relaxing to you, you just like hearing old Aaron, what he's got to say, what are his thoughts. Maybe I just release like a lullaby episode where I just subtly talk to you for 8 hours. Put it on while you sleep. Use some spa music. Oh, my skating lessons got canceled, by the way. That was written down in my notes. That wavelength was actually like a perfect rectangle. I'm just looking at that. I spent so much little time looking at the camera in this episode. I'm like fiddling with a guitar cable and a guitar pick and just like looking at my nose in the video and looking at my teeth. Like, are these yellow? Or are these like off-white? I don't know. I got one tooth, and you can see it. I got my like canine teeth were stuck in the top of my mouth. When I was younger, like they didn't grow in, so like I lost a tooth, and then there was just like a hole there for like a year. And I went to the dentist. And I'm like, hey, what's going on with this tooth? Like, did I lose an adult tooth and it's just not gonna come in? And like, oh no, it happens. Sometimes your teeth just get impacted and they get stuck in the top of your mouth. So they had to like cut open the top of my mouth and like put a wire on it, so like it would get dragged out into place. Which now like you couldn't even tell. I guess I did have braces that actually corrected it, so it got like mostly in place. Then I got braces to like straighten out the rest of it. But I remember that being like the worst. It was in 9th grade at the time. It was so, I hated it. Because like the top of my mouth was like constantly just raw. Like, you think pizza burn's bad? There was nothing. It wasn't just like, it was like a pizza burn times a billion. Just raw. I couldn't eat like solid food for a while. That was the main thing. It was just like, it like really hurt all the time. And then I got braces after that, and I hated braces too. Braces sucked. I don't know if you guys had braces too, but I remember like the first day I got braces, we went to Eastside Mario's after, and I couldn't eat any of my food because my teeth were all like they're all just so sore because they're all like under this pressure, and like any kind of like any force on them would like make them hurt. So I could like on my molars, I could like chew in the back of my molars, but anytime like my front teeth touched my bottom teeth, it would hurt. So like I just slowly eaten, and then oh man, that only lasted for like 4 days or so. Then my teeth adapted. But yeah, it's just miserable. Anything to do with your mouth surgery sucks. Anything that like ruins your eating, it's just awful. It just ruins your whole day and just like puts you in such a bad mood. Just like your mouth being in pain because you can't even just like eat for pleasure. You hate eating, which I don't hate eating. I love eating so much. And they took that away from me. But now I got this award-winning smile now. These straight old teeth that I constantly have dreams about falling out. Speaking about sleeping, do you guys ever get like sleep paralysis? I've had this very frequently recurring. Like this isn't like a one-off thing. I feel like it happens like 4 or 5 times a week, where my brain wakes up, but my body does not. So like I wake up and I'm aware like, oh, I'm asleep right now. I need to like open my eyes. Just Aaron, open your eyes, and I cannot open my eyes. I can't open my eyes. I feel like I'm moving I wiggle my toes. I'm like, okay, wiggle your toes. Now move your arms and like peel your eyelids open. And like I think I'm moving my arms, but and like in my dream, I'm like in a semi-dream, semi-awake state. So like my mind's awake, my mind is also like still kind of in that dream world. So I think I'm like moving my arms around. Sometimes in this state, I'll also like dream that I wake up, and like I look in the mirror. I'm like, oh, I'm awake. But I'm like, I'm not awake. Now that I've said that, I feel like I've talked about this before. How like I remember looking in my mirror. It was like I was looking through a tunnel, and I was like, oh, I'm still dreaming right now. I'm not actually awake. Just sometimes a very clear vision of my room in a dream. Like it's like I'm looking through my eyelids and like I can see my room perfectly. When most of the time like my dreams are like very like, not real. Or like if I'm just lying there with my eyes closed and like trying to like visualize my room in my head, I can't do it. It's very hard to do. Yeah, so I get these like, I wake up and I'm like, okay, and open your eyes, and get up, and open your eyes, and then you get these like auditory hallucinations. So I'll hear like people like talking in the house. Like when I was at home, I'd always hear like my parents having conversations or like talking loudly about like certain things, and I'd be like, man, if someone like came to my room right now, I'd be like super vulnerable. Like someone could easily break in and take advantage of me. Would I wake up? I'd be like stuck. I'm like paralyzed in my body. And then like usually I like what I have to do is at some point I have to like relax myself and like, okay, like accept it. Like, okay, I am asleep, and relax and wake up, and then like finally I can like wake up. But like trying to force myself, like the more you panic, you cannot wake up. And it's really, I've gotten used to it now, but it's also like really annoying because I feel like I'm gonna suffocate somehow. Like what if I got a blanket over my head and like I'm suffocating and I can't wake up to get the blanket off of me? Some people have it way worse though, where they get it after their eyes are open but their body's still paralyzed. So they have their eyes open, like looking at a certain spot in their room because they can't turn their head, and they'll get these like these visual hallucinations of like a being or something like just outside their vision is like a presence in their room, and they get like their heart racing, like they get really uncomfortable and they can't move, that like there's something in the room with them that they just can't see, and they're frozen in their body. I don't have it like that. I have a very like a better version where I'm just like my eyes are still closed and I just can't move or wake up, which it sounds miserable, and it is. I hate it every time it happens. I'm like, oh my god, here we go again. And like I don't want to go back to sleep after, because it does happen where I go back to sleep and then it happens again before I wake up again. Like, oh come on, this is getting old. And like the hallucinations I do hear, you might be thinking, oh, you probably just are hearing people having a conversation, but then I wake up and it's like silent in my house. There's no one talking. So yeah, I want to talk about that too. So you guys ever get that? Anyone ever experience that? I don't know if it's like it just happens to anybody, or if there's like something to do with me specifically that like makes me more prone to it. I'm not sure. I haven't looked that deeply into it. I've just looked up like sleep paralysis, and it's a thing. Like it's a thing out there. You can look it up and look up like the demons and stuff that people have to deal with. It's way worse than what I get. Hopefully in the future it doesn't like advance beyond just the can't open my eyes. Can't wake up is what it feels like. And then usually, yeah, when I do wake up, I usually like I wake up out of breath, like oh, okay, I'm good, I'm free. But I'm also like still like really tired, because I think it happens when you're like waking up in like a deep sleep state, and that's why it's tough. So then I wake up and I'm still like exhausted, and like my eyes are like falling back to sleep, and I do fall back to sleep, and then I can get stuck in it again. But sometimes it's like so scary, and I get up and I gotta go pee or something. Yeah. But there we go. And that final wind, it got us there to the hour and 10 minutes. I knew I'd get there. I just had to stumble and just like stall for a bit until the brain kicked in. And then I got the second wind. And there we go. But once again, 20 episodes in, as I always say, thank you very much to all of you who have stuck with me so far through 20 episodes. Hopefully this thing can continue to improve, and as always, I hope more people will track this down. I gotta maybe when I get more time next week, I can finally work on that, putting that trailer together. Just record some audio that Ethan and I can then go throw some music over. I think that's a good plan, and then that'll by the end of the month, maybe I'll plan to get that out. And then you guys can also hear your voice clips in this idea that I've been bragging about the whole time. You can see that. So, thank you to all your lovely ears for listening to this. Your lovely eyes, if you are watching the video version of this. I appreciate every single one of you. And I hope you have a fantastic upcoming week until the next episode when I get to talk to you again. Do some fun stuff. As always, I am here. If you ever wanna chat, hit me up. It's cool. Talk about the podcast. Talk about anything really. I'm down to just like talk and stuff. I'm working on this thing, working on my conversation ability. So yeah, you want to chat? What's up? Come hit me up. Don't be afraid to message me. I'm that kind of host. I want to talk to my fans, get to know them on a personal basis. Even though I already know all of you on a personal basis. Yeah. All right. I'm still just killing more time. But thank you. Once again, 20 episodes. Here's to 20 more. Have a wonderful everything. Have a wonderful everything, people. Take it easy, folks.
Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed your stay. Now take what you learned and have a great day. Damn, it feels good to air out.